Welcome back, fellow shop rats. It's another Talk About It Tuesday, but today we're going to be doing things a little differently. It's not just going to be a talk about it, but we're also going to be doing the vehicle shuffle to get ready for the next stage of projects that we're going to be doing here in the shop. So let's talk about that. I'm Mike, and you're watching Mike R. Shop. As you've heard me say before, there's been a lot going on here in the shop besides what you see on the channel. And I've also been doing a lot off camera as far as just trying to get things back under control here. I got bags of trash here I need to get out of here, and I got other trash cans I need to get dumped and stuff like that. We got the Duster Hood project over there, but I also need to get the Oakland out of the trailer and in the shop and put this car in the trailer. So the first thing I need to do is go over this with my California Duster and just get a layer of grime off of it because it's been sitting here in the shop for quite a while. Also going to fold up my fender covers and get them put back away where they belong. Now that the car's going out of here, I don't need to keep the front end covered up and protected from all the welding and grinding stuff that we were doing over there. Well, it's just been a lot going on. I'm tired. Tired, boss. Real tired. My dream world, when I grow up to be big, I am going to have another shop here on the property that I can keep all of the nice cars in and still work out of this one, or maybe I will have a... Oh, that sucks. Oh, okay. Thought it was burned into the paint, but it's not. Anyway, I will have a another shop to work in, and we'll store cars in here or something. But for now, this is what we have. And so, yeah, I have to be very careful about having nice shiny cars in the shop here when I'm doing all of the fabrication work and things that we do around here in the winter. But I don't have a lot of choice. My back room still is full of cabinets and stuff. I was afraid that was going to happen, but there's just not enough days in an hour to get everything done. The other thing in today particularly is I'm just burned out. I'm tired, and life has been really crazy. It's been a lot going on, and I'm hoping that moving into the new year, it's still 2024 while I'm filming this, but this is coming up on New Year's real soon here in a couple days. But 2024 has been a really crappy year in a lot of ways. Could be worse. A lot of it's just first world problems, but the reality is it's not been the best year. Certainly have had worse ones, but one of my favorite saying is, how does it go? I've had a really good year. Unfortunately, this one wasn't it. I've noticed that the last few times I've started this car, the battery's been getting low, so we do need to put it on the charger. So we're going to do the right thing and not do that today. We can always throw it on a charger in the trailer if we have to at another time. Let's see if it'll start. Good. It started up actually better than I expected. So in order to get it out of here, I got to get the little door open, get the big door open. I got to move the Challenger over, which means I got to move the welder, and yeah, a series of sequences for sure. Every time I work around the shop and I'm doing kind of this reorganization stuff that I'm doing, I'm always asking myself, is there better ways of doing things than the way I'm currently doing them? Is there smarter ways? Boy, this cart is heavy. It's the rubber wheels. My other one I can slide like that. This one I can't. But anyway, is there more effective, more efficient ways I could be keeping the shop? Just things simple like where I keep the welders up there. I'm realizing may not be the most efficient. Maybe they should be here. I don't know. I'm always trying to figure that stuff out. Optimization, that kind of stuff. Plus, we've got just stuff all over the place. But let's get this Challenger moved over. It's one of the things that I realize that, there's always a better way, a more efficient way, if I'm willing to just look at things differently. I've always had the welders over there. I like them from the perspective of being next to the welding bench, but it's kind of a pain in the neck because bringing cars in and out, it makes it really tight to get in and out of there. So I'm trying to figure out where the welders would go. Probably what needs to happen is the welders need to go where this shelf is, and this shelf needs to go somewhere else. I'm not sure yet. I'm going to think more about that. But I've got enough stuff opened up now, and the Challenger's moved over enough I can start wiggling the 47 and get that out of here. It really is the perfect day to be doing this because tomorrow it's supposed to be raining. So I haven't fired the Oakland up in months. So I'm going to go out and get that fired up and get the trailer opened up and get these two vehicles switched. I'll be back here in a little while. I'm not going to take you out there. It's almost impossible to film out there anyway. So we'll be right back in here with the Oakland in a few minutes. I hope. One of the jobs that we have to do on this car after the first of the year is drop the oil pan and check all the rod bearings and make sure all the rods are tight and that there's no debris laying in the screens in the oil pan and all that stuff. Remember, this car was parked for 75 years. We did find some issues in the engine. We replaced the cam, we replaced valves. There was one rod cap that was loose. We mic'd everything out. When we tightened it down, everything was in spec, so it was okay, but we want to be sure that, maybe we had a rod bolt that was stretching or something. So we've had this car on the road now for almost 3 years, and we just want to make sure everything's good because we don't want to hurt something. Eventually we want to go through and rebuild that motor anyway, but not yet, not unless we find something, of course, this winter that needs to change. So as far as organization and restaging and things like that, I have several things that I need to consider. The Oakland ultimately is probably going to get kind of backed in towards the Cincinnati lathe, and that's where its permanent home will be while we jack the front end up and so forth on it and drop the pan. Hopefully it won't be there very long, but we never can tell. So I just got to think ahead. Like, I have all of the Forsyth Duster hood project over there right now. I need to move that out of the way. I want to get that over here. The second thing is Mark is coming in a few days, less than a week, and we're going to be working on the trunk floor on stitches, so I need to plan ahead for that. So that's part of what this is about today. Is it's not only shuffling things around, but it's also just getting my mind wrapped around where am I headed next? What's going to be happening next here in the shop that I need to be prepared for, so that I have everything to optimize efficiency, so I don't waste other people's time. So here's kind of the weird place I'm at. I need to get this over there so I can put the Oakland here, but I need to get the Oakland here so I can put that over there. So what I'm going to have to do is just move things and stand them out of the way. I'm going to head the Oakland in right now so it's easy to get in and out should I need to. But hopefully that hood project can be up against the shop door over there, and I can still work on this. I got a few more episodes to do on that, but it'll still allow me to move the Challenger forward about 6 or 8 feet so that we can work in the trunk floor area, because I got prep work to do there before Mark gets here so that we don't waste his time once he's here. So it's just all of these sequences is what I'm trying to say. The Oakland should fit right in here nicely now, be able to snuggle it right up tight up in here. I've got all these 46 to 48 Ford parts over here that I have for sale. I need to find some place to put that stuff. Been thinking about that as well. Again, it's all about efficiency, right? So I've got hubcaps over there, 58 Plymouth hubcaps and 70 Cuda hubcaps. And I've got parts everywhere. That toolbox is still sitting here that I have for sale. I've got stuff like that around that I have to kind of keep on hand. I've got stuff squirreled back in the corner I have for sale. And I've been thinking about, okay, where can I have a staging area, even if I can't do it right now, where I can have like the library of all the stuff that I have for sale. Ultimately, I'd like to have it upstairs, but it's a train wreck up in the warehouse right now on both sides. Once we get all the cabinets up there and get the room built, yes, that will happen. So I need to think through where's a different spot I can put all this stuff. I got some ideas on what we could do temporarily. It's not ideal, but it's an idea. So another thing I've got is if you've noticed on the videos, the light back here has been out for a long time. A few episodes ago, all of a sudden it was on because I spent a whole bunch of time getting stuff fixed and working around here that I had been neglecting. I've got all of these light tubes here that I need to dispose of. The simplest way for me to do that, well, I'm going to do it. I'm going to deal with those today as well and get them out of the way. How I do that, you don't need to know. So anyway, I'm just about ready to put the Oakland in. I got my bags of trash in the way right now. The hood and all the fender stands are over there out of the way. I don't like the toolbox here. I'm uncertain how to handle that yet. But again, it's the thinking process. It's about workflow. It's about efficiency, that kind of stuff. I've really thought about putting the toolbox over here next to the welding bench. The problem I have with that is it's a welding bench and I need to be able to weld. It doesn't make any sense to be moving welders over and back. Although when I think about it, I do more welding on the cars than I ever do on the bench. So lots and lots of little details and workflow process stuff to think through. And that's what today is all about. There we go. Got it all swept up. By the way, I wanted to mention while I was thinking of it also as I was sweeping and dealing with hoses and cords, Squirrel over at Squirrel's Workshop, check his channel out. He just did a really cool episode on running a cable across the shop to hang your extension cord from. And you can slide it and it loops up on the end and then you can pull it out and it reaches all the corners of the shop. And it wouldn't work real well in my shop here, but it's a great idea for a shop like his. Go check that out. It's really cool. I've been thinking about one of these days I'm going to run PEX around the shop. I have PEX over there where the air comes in to the shop, but I never finished running air lines around so I could plug in a few different places. So one of these days we're going to get that done. And laying on the floor over here, there used to be for a long time a bunch of big long poles that had electrical outlets in it, and I'm going to put those strategically around the shop at some point also. But it's all those things that are on the list to be done, but the cars come first. The cars always come first. So I'm just like examining how this could be here. And I really think I'm going to have to measure it out and see, but I really don't think it would be a bad option here to put the Oakland in completely parallel this way with the rear end down there and the front end about right here. That gives me room to still work on the mill. Gives me room to work under the car, but I got to measure the length and see if that's even doable while still allowing me enough room to work on the duster. Maybe at an angle is better. I don't know. Again, this is all what this is about, right? It's thinking through the process of doing the work in the next phase of what needs to be done. So I really like the fact that the car is way out of the way now. I can move the Challenger forward. I can have the Duster hood project up here. I like all of that, but I need to see the length on this car. So let me measure that out and do some cogitating, and we'll see. That's not going to work. The car's 14 feet long, and 14 feet from the Duster itself brings it like right here. So there's not enough room. So probably angling it, having it turned around. As long as the front end of the car is It could be this way a little bit more. It could even be angled this way a little bit more. And then we can work on it and use this as our workspace. It would be nice to have things in such a place that I could get one more car in here if I needed to, but it's not really necessary. Having the car trailer this year makes a big difference in that. I do like only having 3 cars in here. Ideally, this shop is for 2. We used to have one sitting here and one sitting here. The Charger was over here for years as Joe was rebuilding that. And then I had the 47 or the 68, or maybe you can fit 2 cars in the middle if I was just storing them. But to work on, really, this is just a 2-car shop. So we'll do the right thing and always have 3 or 4 in here, but I'm just saying. And of course, the second thing in that is we have added 2 lathes and a Bridgeport in here, as well as a welding bench and a valve grinding station back there. So we've added a lot of stuff in this shop besides just adding more cars. So, but it's all about efficiency, right? If you get the efficiency down, then things can fit. And of course, when we get the Challenger off of the rotisserie, that's going to free up a huge amount of space. The Duster will eventually be going on there, but not right away. So that's going to change the dynamics here as well when that happens, because the Challenger will be back rolling around again, hopefully before very long at all. And we may switch around where the Duster is. We just don't know what we're going to do yet on all of that. But it's all things that I've got to think about and plan ahead for. So let's get this hood set back up over here now so that we can work on that in our next episode. And then we've also got things ready for pulling the Challenger out so we can get going on the trunk floor on stitches. I really like that there. I'm waffling on the toolbox because I've got a lot of my information. I don't care so much about the grinding discs there, but I can reach those if I need to. But I would have to move these things. Doesn't mean I won't. But the toolbox stands, this tall, so it covers all that stuff up if I put it here. Still may go there. I've got another whiteboard back here also that I want to get put up. Everything's just one of these little, parking lot car game type things where you're sliding things around, trying to make sense out of it and put things in its proper place and all of that stuff. So, everything has a place, and actually everything doesn't have a place, so nothing's in its place. But, oh well, it is what it is. Alrighty, we're ready to move the Challenger back over now. The Challenger should go that way another 2 feet probably, but again, I've got stuff just kind of in the way and not to its efficiencies yet. So my Baylift hoist is almost inaccessible up there where it's at. But yeah, I'm thinking, just because I rarely use the welders at the welding bench, it makes more sense to have the welders more accessible to the cars. But right now I'm working here. Of course, I don't have a lot more welding to do. Maybe moving that cart or that shelf somewhere else and putting the welders on this side of the welding area makes some sense. And then going ahead and moving those posters and putting the toolbox there. It's just, when we put the door in, the overhead garage door inside the big sliding doors for heat and efficiency and insulation, we narrowed the door opening in this place about a foot and a half on each side. And as a result of that, it makes it a lot harder to get cars in and out of here. You wouldn't think that would make that much difference, but it really did. And of course, the 47 has a very, very wide turning radius. The Oakland actually turns pretty sharp, so it's not as bad. I don't care for that, the way that works. And if I could have had the rotisserie over on that side of the shop, that would have made a whole lot more sense, because then it would just be pulling things straight in and out. But from all of my calculating and cogitating, I'm not sure there's quite enough clearance in there the way things are set up. It may be something that I address when I put the Duster on, because I think, from what I'm seeing, height-wise, I think it would clear if I put it on this side of the center beam in the shop and move my lights over. I think it would fit in there. So if I had to tip it up, I could slide it over and tip it up into that, but it would definitely hit the beam in the center of the shop. So, but having the rotisserie over there would make life just incredibly easier in here to work on projects as we pull them in and out without constantly having to pull stuff over there, which is kind of a pain in the neck because it's tight. So anyway, it is what it is. First world problems, right? Talk About It Tuesdays are always just about whatever happens to be on my mind, and this was a little bit more, I wouldn't say hands-on, but whether I'm doing something like this, it for the diehards on the channel, I know that this stuff isn't for everybody, but for those who've been following the channel in depth and are just curious and interested in what I do, really, no matter what it is to some degree, sharing my thought processes with you as I'm working on things like this. You've asked for that, so I try to do that once in a while. Just share my, just ramble about what I'm thinking as I'm doing things, that kind of stuff. So oh, I didn't share this with you guys either. I don't think I came up with a plan for the 47 armrests. That you had seen me upholster this like this here, but I'm going to put welting in like this on these armrests. So when I put these on the door panel, that's what it's going to look like. It's going to be absolutely stunning. This material on the door panels, this on the armrests, and then this welting here on the rest itself. So anyway, I meant to show you that a while ago and I forgot. So I think that'll do it for this one. Oh, I'm tired. Beck just got home from a gathering, so I'm going to go visit with her for a while, come up with a plan for the evening. And once again, thanks for being here, just hanging out, spending the day. I'm going to spend a little more time organizing and cleaning out here probably tomorrow, but I really want to get this next step done on the hood, which means we're going to have to spend some time probably on the mill machining these 2 extra braces we're going to put on the inside of this hood here. And then we'll have to test fit it on the car and make sure that everything is copacetic and that nothing is self-pathetic. That'll do it. We'll catch you on the next one. Like, share, subscribe. Tell others about the channel. The faster the channel grows, the more I can do. The more I can do, the faster the channel grows. It's just one of those things. So like, share, subscribe, share it on social media. Whatever you think can help the channel grow, I would appreciate it. And I think everybody here would appreciate it too, because like I said, the more momentum we gain here, the more I'm going to be able to do. All right, we'll catch you on the next one. Don't forget, it's important. It really is.